Hello, all you positive heads out there. It is so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open heart and open mind to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce that on January 18th, originally January 5th, but I needed to push it back a bit, I'm going to be freely gifting each of you my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. In the book, which was initially shown to me in a dream and has been followed by a next level amount of synchronicity, by the way, I share the keys to manifesting abundance that I've personally discovered over 20 plus years of trial, error, and deep exploration of these perspectives, as well as one golden key that ultimately ties them all together. Also, I would like to invite you to participate in a unique abundance manifestation game with me and the other readers that is outlined in detail at the end of the book and at the book's website, goldenkey.gift, where readers will also share the inspiring results of their abundance manifestation experiments. So if you're wanting 2021 to be the year that you alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level, head over to goldenkey.gift to sign up to accept my golden gift to you right when it comes out.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome, welcome one and all. I appreciate all of you new and old listeners for joining us. We love you so much. Today we have Samantha back. I'm so happy to have you, Samantha.
Erica, why did you change the intro? Oh my goodness. I have been attached. Erica, we are attached. We are so comfortable and attached to the intro and to the way that things are. We can't handle the change.
Yeah, I thought since this year is a year of change that I would change the intro up. Why not? It's a new year. Let's have a new intro. So there you go.
Okay, and so anyone listening, how do you feel about that? Do you notice in your body that you love the change, or do you notice that you dislike the change? How do you interact with change in general? This is the question that is really being posed right now because we are being forced to embrace or at least accept or at least not go down struggling, kicking, and screaming to the fact that change is happening. Always, it was always happening, and right now it is evidently clear that it is massively happening.
Totally. Fast and furious change. And yeah, we got to be okay with it. We can't kind of like get stuck in our boots and, cry and whine about it. We have to be like, all right, this is happening. Now what? Now what? And that's okay because we're all fine. And change can be really good. It just might not seem like it as we're going through it. But hindsight, it always is. There's always a really good reason for it. And for one, I like change. At the same time, I can be a little uncomfortable about it. I have a change coming up in my life now that I'm thinking about. And I knew this change was going to come for the last 5 years. And now that it's coming, I'm like, ooh, okay. And it's making me, but it's that fear thing. That's all it is, the fear of the unknown, the fear of something different, not what I'm used to, that's making me just pause for a second. And that's totally cool. What's not going to be cool is if I stay stuck in this place and not move forward, right?
What's the change? Tell us, Erica.
So the house I live in now, I've been living in for the past 5 years. The plan when I bought my house was that we were going to stay here until my daughter finished high school, and then that was it. I was gonna move. And we were gonna move to where family is in Colorado, and that's coming up. And if you were to talk to like a real estate person, like, yes, it's a great time to sell the house. Yeah, still, that's great. It's my house. I love it, right? And it's a little uncomfortable not having it anymore because what I want to do for the next year is RV it. I want to take the next year. I want to sell my house, take the next year and just travel and be all over the place and just really enjoy life. And yeah, it's a little scary, but I think the benefits far outweigh the risk. So
Mm.
just gonna have to do that jump. It's a big jump, but yeah, I think I'm gonna do it.
I love that. I commend you on that. Traveling, I've been traveling for the last 11 years now, almost uh, consistently all the time. It's been a little bit much, but yeah, the it's so funny, with the change. I feel like I'm kind of the opposite, where I'm so used to change. I spin up my reality so often that I actually am really looking forward to not having things change so much. And yeah, it's funny because we do get stuck into these routines and these ways of being, and we get really comfortable with the familiar because it feels safe. And yet, everything amazing happens on that edge or on the other side of those comfort zones and those fears and the places where we've allowed ourselves to kind of stay small. Because when we're really comfortable, we're not really growing.
Right. Right. Yeah. And I think about how that relates to my situation. And I think, well, I could stay here in the desert in Arizona where I love it for about 6 months out of the year. And then the other 6 months, I'm like, why exactly is it that I live here? Humans shouldn't be living here. The plants don't survive. It's a harsh environment. And and I think about what I could possibly be doing and what I could possibly be seeing out there as opposed to being, sitting here in 120 degrees, right? Yeah, so I think about that and how exciting that is. And
It is okay. Yeah. I came from the opposite background of Canada, where 6 months of the year, it's amazing, it's beautiful. The other 6 months of the year, nothing survives because it is an ice hell. To me, some people love ice hells, others don't. And I remember one day being stuck in a snowstorm and looking up and seeing these geese all flying south. And I remember looking up at the geese and being like, oh, yeah, all the birds leave, and the other animals hibernate and all the other trees die or plants die. And I just thought to myself, I'm not a tree. I'm a human, and humans are able to pack up. We don't have these same roots that are attaching us to the earth, and we are able to go and to change where we live, to change our environment, to change our identity, to change our career, to change our situation in total. And it's an exhilarating thing to recognize that there's so much out there that had we not allowed ourselves to embrace the possibility and potential that comes with change, we would have never experienced. And we would have never been open up to these different parts of ourselves that come online when we do put ourselves in these new and novel situations.
totally, yeah. And when you were just saying that, I thought about the idea of like giving up the majority of my possessions, right? And that's a very, very freeing thought. That's also a little scary, but most of the people that I have talked to that have done that say how wonderful it is because how many times have I thought to myself, wow, I have this house and then I have this furniture to fill this house and then I pay the bills to keep it cool and keep it warm and all the things, but it's just to like hold my stuff. Do I need all this stuff? I really don't need all this stuff, really. I like the trees outside and fresh air, and that's where I spend the most of my time is outside. So it it's it seems silly to me that I'm, just housing my possessions, right?
Yeah, last year at 31 years old was the first time that I bought furniture. I had always just rented or bought furnished places or gone from, retreat center to eco village to different housing situations. And I bought furniture last year and then I felt so inhibited by it. I was like, I can't leave for 6 months because I have to pay for the box that hosts my furniture. But what I did was I rented out my place furnished. And then when I moved here to Spain, I actually found someone that moved into my place and she had no furniture because she just got out of a relationship where he had all the furniture, and she bought every single thing I owned, right down to my towels and bed sheets. She now owns everything. I literally moved to Spain with just my singing bowl, my crystals, my essential oils, and some of my paintings that are on the wall, and then my clothing. And everything else I released.
Feels good, huh?
It feels really good. Yeah, to be uninhibited.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
just pick up this backpack essentially and be off to the next place if you need to be. There's nothing tying you or holding you necessarily, right? Like if you had to pick up and go, you can do so.
Exactly.
It's very freeing. And I think that's another big theme of this year is freedom and sovereignty. And in order to gain more freedom and sovereignty, that requires change. It's for most people, it's going to require some sort of change. Yeah. I'm excited
Yeah.
about this year. I'm excited about all of the change and all of the freedom that is going to come out of it, and really how much we're continuing to learn. I just see that all around. Just wow, we are learning, learning, learning.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And a big word of mine for this year is surrender. It's I feel that there have been many changes in 2020. Literally everything changed for me, from my relationships to my family members to my friendships to my home to my like marital status, to everything changed in my life, to Corona, to all sorts of things. And I feel like this year there are going to be just as many changes, and I feel like some of them I'm just not going to be able to control or have any really input in, except for to surrender and to accept that they're happening. And that's not my nature. My nature is to fight. It's to paddle upstream. It's to force. It's to allow. It's to manipulate things to happen the way I want. And I feel like maybe that's not the way that it's meant to be this year. Maybe I'm meant to just go with the flow of things a little more and surrender and trust that maybe there is a bigger plan that is unfolding. And maybe it doesn't have to be such a struggle against what's happening and what is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can always trust that there is a bigger plan. You just aren't conscious of it. Your higher self knows what it is. There is always a bigger plan, and you are always being guided. And yeah, if we're, fighting against that stream, that's our conscious doing. But we don't have to. We can just surrender and go with it and know that we are being held, we are being protected, and it's all right. Like that that stream is just going to take us around little bends and take us exactly where we need to go, nice and smoothly. And while, yeah, it might get choppy a little bit along the way, you're still going in the direction that you're supposed to, right? And you're learning how to maneuver
Mhm.
around all of that choppiness so that the next time it comes up, it doesn't feel so scary.
Exactly. I don't know if you, Erica, use an app called The Pattern. Do you use this? I sent it to you, right? Yes. Okay. So for anyone that has not used the app, The Pattern, it is amazing. Please go download it. I have no affiliation with them. However, I use it every day. And for anyone that has the app, The Pattern, you know how crazy this is. So in my patterns, I have upcoming patterns of depth and feeling, surrendering and opening up. And what these patterns are sharing is that there are going to be major things that are forcing me to feel the depth of my feeling, to go into situations in which I can't control, I can't intellectually get out of, and I'm just being pushed to feel things deeper and stronger to allow me to have just a more rich experience of feelings and emotions and who I really am. And as I'm seeing this, I'm just thinking, oh, okay, all right, what is this? Like, give it to me. I'm ready for it. And yeah, and sometimes that's just it. Life isn't punishing us and we're not being tortured, but sometimes we are being initiated into a different version of ourselves, one that has a richer experience of the senses, of this reality, of our ability to transmit and receive feelings and impulses. And, if we continuously believe what we always say, that life is not happening to you, it is happening through you as you, then it can be a lot easier as we truly do surrender through this process.
I love that you just called it an initiation, because literally that's exactly what it is. And when we're going through really difficult, challenging times, if we can think about it, oh, I'm being initiated. I'm being initiated to a higher level of wisdom, to a higher level of vibration. And I have to go through this ugliness, this like despair and this darkness, this like, when you go through any kind of initiation, there's always that piece of it. There's always that suffering, that deprivation. And when you come out on the other end, wow, do you learn? And you totally get it now. But you wouldn't have learned it without that struggle and without that deprivation. That's a hard
Yeah.
thing for us to get as humans. Like, so many of us ask ourselves, why does it have to be so hard though? Does it have to be so hard? Yes. Yes, I'm sorry. It does. It does, because that's how we learn the best. We're going to learn so, so
Exactly.
slow if we don't do it the hard way. The hard way is it's a good way.
It is. It doesn't feel like a good way, but it is a good way. And when we think about the energy of initiations, they're really initiatory fires. And the energy of fire, well, what it does, it burns you down. But just like the phoenix, from the ashes you will rise. And so recognize, sometimes just let yourself burn. Let yourself become ash and let yourself rise again anew. And again, trust and have faith and have so much compassion for yourself in this process, because like Erica said, it is not easy, but it is worth it. And there is something beautiful for you throughout the journey and on the other end.
Totally. Yeah. And I love that ignition of fire. That is so powerful. That is so much power, so much power. You can use it however you want to when you ignite that fire within you. So beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow. This has been a really nice little chat, Samantha. We had no idea, you guys, what we were going to talk about. We were just like, let's just start recording. And then
Erica, don't tell them that we're very unprepared every single time, that we just let it flow. Positive heads, don't listen to Erica. We planned this for months in advance. We struggled at the drawing board. No, we're lying. It just flows because we're so tapped in, Erica.
I mean, literally, you guys, we were like, we both have no idea. Well, all right, let's talk about change a little bit. And then this is what comes out, and it's beautiful. I love it. It's
always perfect. Always what needs to be said.
Exactly. Well, thank you for joining me again today. I've missed you. And we're going to leave you with a song for today. This is Wookiefoot, The Eighth Fire. We love you all so much. Until next time.
Love you.
Also, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to remind you about the game with the universe on our website, where you can choose the first number that comes to your mind and it'll pull up that episode number of the podcast. I've been saying this is a great way to co-create synchronicity and magic with your higher self for quite some time. And if you go to positivehead.com/universe, there is a super fun and simple interface to play this game with your higher self. I firmly believe just by setting the intention to play in this way, it opens up the door for magic, and it's a synchronistic way to hone in on nuggets of wisdom out of the huge catalog of episodes that are specifically appropriate for you at this time in your journey to becoming the next greatest and greatest version of yourself. And it also makes for a super fun way to spark the curiosity of friends and family by having them choose a number, so they'll hopefully go and check out their number as well, which I greatly appreciate because it helps us to spread the word about the podcast. Once again, the address is positivehead.com/universe. And as a quick reminder, if you're curious to learn more about Purium superfoods and why I take them almost every day, be sure to also check out positivehead.com/transformation. On this journey of becoming the next greatest and grandest version of ourselves that we have all embarked upon, I cannot stress the importance of managing your physical vibration enough. And quite honestly, Purium has put together the simplest plan I've found to do so. I have my favorite, the appleberry shake, at least 5 times a week. Once again, to learn more about the Purium transformation, go to positivehead.com/transformation. Or if you want to keep it simple and just try out my favorite, the appleberry shake, you can go straight over to ishoppurium.com and be sure to use code positivehead for 25% off. I'll spell that for you. It's ishoppurium.com. And be sure to use your Positive Head 25% coupon code.
People hide in caves, just a slave to the moon phase, always cowering in shadows, praying for the day, pray for daybreak, come sun rays. Prometheus comes and sees us in pain, stole the fire from the gods, gave the humans the flame, set the nighttime ablaze, and now the whole world's changed. And so they're powerful and cruel, burning everything in sight, building towers to the blue sky, gained the flame but lost the light. You can use the fire to build a bridge, you can use the flame to burn it down. Two roads rise before to living in the present tense. People all disconnect, disregard laws of cause and effect. But the light reflects with eyes looking up from the glow of the screen. See the embers still pulse and divulge what they mean. Seeking out the knowledge that the ashes keep. Now the whole world's changed, and so their numbers grew and grew, learning all that they could find. Gathering round the fire now, reclaim the flame, reclaim the light. You can use the fire to build a bridge. You can use the flame to burn it down. Two roads rise before us. Time to choose is now. Slow down, don't move too fast. Listen to the voices from your past. Slow down, choose your own. Elders all around us know this is our time. This is our turn. Time to unite and let the eighth fire burn.
Come back to the fire.
Every man, woman, and child come and sing in harmony.
Come back to the fire.
We're gathering together, one human family.
Come back to the fire.
We're leaving Babylon behind, we're gonna find a better way.
Come back to the fire.
Let today be that day, I pray. Wisdom, respect, and spirituality. Let these be the foundation of our reality. May we truly be the change for humanity and remediate the insanity. Compassionate action is the remedy. We are all connected, there are no enemies. So grab your brethren and sister and get the fire kindled.
It's our choice. We get to choose it, to use our voice before we lose it. Talking about the planet, we're talking about pollution. Gathering, traveling, navigating the solution.
Coming with the medicine music.
I believe in the power of the people in this movement. We got the fire, we know how to use it.
This is our time,